Hey everybody, today I'm really excited to share with you about the new Databricks AI Dev Kit. I've been using this for my personal Databricks development and it is a game changer and it's just a really cool, fun tool to have. So what is this? Databricks Dev Kit is basically a tool, scroll down here, that allows you to connect your AI coding assistant such as Codex or Copilot or Cursor or Surfwind or Cloud Code, whatever it may be. It allows you to connect that AI coding assistant to your Databricks environment and go from simply writing code to actually prompting your agent to be able to perform actions inside of your Databricks environment. Pretty much anything you can do by clicking around through your Databricks environment, you can do through this AI Dev Kit simply through prompting your coding assistant. So how does this work exactly? Well, let's go ahead and look at this documentation. That's where I am right here. The Dev Kit is a open source GitHub repository. I'll link this in the comments so you can check it out. If you scroll down here, it gives a nice little diagram explaining what it is. So here we have the Dev Kit. And what that does is it gives your coding assistant access to a bunch of different skills. These are basically just markdown files that give knowledge to your agent about the different Databricks resources, be it jobs, be it AI BI dashboards, be it compute or Databricks apps. Skills give knowledge and instructions and patterns and best practices to your agent so that your agent can use those as you give it prompts and commands to perform certain actions. On the other side here is the MCP server, the tools that are available in the MCP server. So this is what actually gives your agent the power to perform actions in Databricks. Basically, that MCP server gives access to the tools in Databricks that you can use to perform those actions. And it does that through the CLI, so your regular command line interface commands, or through the REST API. Keep scrolling down a little bit. It shows you everything you can do. I mentioned a lot of these, but pretty much everything within Databricks can be done through this AI Dev Kit. It is built on top of your Databricks CLI, so one prerequisite, and I think it mentions it down here. If I go to install, one prerequisite is that you have to have the CLI configured, and if you don't, there's plenty of resources out there. You can use ChatGPT. It's pretty simple to configure the Databricks CLI in your command line. And how that works and how the Dev Kit works is it uses your Databricks CLI, which is built on top of your personal access token. And so you are only able to perform actions with the AI Dev Kit that your user has permissions to do. So it won't give you access to tables that you shouldn't have access to. It won't give you access to jobs that you shouldn't have access to. Only what your user can do in Databricks is what the AI Dev Kit is limited to as well, because it works through your CLI, which uses your access token. All right, so enough talking. Let's go ahead and get started on the demo of I'm going to walk you through how to get this installed. I'm going to use Cursor for this demo. It doesn't matter what you use. The principles are generally the same, but for this demo, I'm going to use Codex. So I have a Windows computer, so I'm going to be using the instructions down here. But if you have a Mac, you can follow these instructions up above. All I have to do is go and copy this command and paste it into my PowerShell. And I already have my PowerShell open right here in the directory that I want to run this install. So you'll just want to pick a directory somewhere on your machine that you want to do this installation on. I'm going to do it in this directory called within Databricks Dev Kit, and the directory name is demo. So then I'm just going to copy and paste that command and hit enter, and it will walk you through the next steps. It's super simple, straightforward. So the first thing that you have to do is choose the tool that you want to use. It detected Cursor and GitHub Copilot on my machine, but I'm just going to use Cursor, so using my up and down arrows, and then the enter or space key I can select and deselect. So I'm going to deselect Copilot and keep Cursor selected, and then I'm going to go down with my down arrow to confirm and hit enter. And then it is looking for a Databricks CLI profile. If you have multiple profiles, for example, if you have multiple workspaces configured for your Databricks CLI, you'll see more than one. I'm just using the free Databricks tier for this demo. So I only have one profile because I only have one workspace. So I'm just going to keep it at that default, but you can select the profile you want. So I'm going to hit enter right there. And then the other part I skipped over is this selection, this installation scope. This is where you decide if you want to install the dev kit globally, so across your whole computer basically, or inside of the directory that you're in. I like to keep it just inside of the directory I'm in because I just feel like I have more control that way, but it's up to you. Then you can select the skills you want it to install. I just choose all skills because, well, I want everything just in case I need it. But if you don't need some of these skills, you can select certain ones and leave other ones out. So I'm going to scroll down and hit confirm. And now it's asking me about my MCP server location. It's showing you that the path that the MCP server is going to live. I would recommend just keeping it where it is, but it's up to you. So I'm going to hit enter. Now here's the summary of what you're installing. The tool that you're using is Cursor. You're using your default profile for the Databricks CLI. The scope is just within your project, within the folder that you're in right now. The location of the MCP server, all the skills, and again, a confirmation for the MCP server. So let's hit yes, and now it's going to actually run the installation inside of the folder that I'm in. I'm going to pause it and come back to it when it's finished. You can see that it set up the MCP server, installed skills, configured the MCP. It does give these instructions about enabling the MCP in Cursor. I find that they're a little bit misleading, so I'll show you what I did to make sure that that MCP server was available once we get into Cursor. So I'm going to open up Cursor and open up that directory that we did the install in. So it's inside of Databricks Dev Kit and inside of this demo folder. So then you can see inside of here we have AI Dev Kit, which gives us a bunch of different skills. And then we have, so the skills are actually in, this is just a list of skills and where they're installed, but the skills are actually in here. Again, just marked down with instructions and knowledge for the agent to use. And then we do have this MCP JSON folder as well. The part that you need to set up for the MCP server to be available is you actually will want to copy this whole thing, this MCP JSON, go to your settings in Cursor, go to tools and MCPs, and I've already done this, so it's actually already available, but you would click on add MCP, and then that opens up this mcp.json file. That's just at your Cursor kind of root, and then I just copied and pasted that, and that kind of tells Cursor where your MCP server and the scripts live. So you have to do that, and then make sure you toggle on. So you have this Databricks MCP server. Make sure you toggle that on, and then it shows you all the list of different tools available via that MCP server. So then to actually use this dev kit, it's pretty cool, pretty straightforward. In Cursor, there's two different ways that I know of to do that. So I could right click on this folder and then say add directory to new Cursor chat. And so then I'm inside of a chat that's using this directory, and I can start giving prompts to the AI Dev Kit. Or I can open the agents window. If you're familiar with Cursor, you'll probably know that you can do this. And this gives more of a UI interactive experience. And what we'll want to do is we will want to open up another workspace, and we can open up the folder that we just did the install on. So I'm going to browse my folders here, and I'm going to go to this demo folder right here. So then I select folder, and now you can see it is opening up a new workspace within Cursor. So now that we have this workspace created, let's just start with asking a simple question like, what AI BI dashboards exist in my Databricks environment? And we can see what the agent's doing, what it's thinking, and it's saying it ended up deciding to use a Databricks CLI command, so give it permission to run that. Looks like it's thinking some more. It wants me to allow it to run that command in the background. It's looking for dashboarding tools. I'm using MCP server, so it's kind of interesting to see what's happening. And after running all those commands, so it looks like it was able to come up with a summary. You can see here we got a list of 3 AIBI dashboards, the name, the dashboard ID, some information about those dashboards. I'm going to drag my actual Databricks UI over here for a second to show you that it was able to do that, and we see it was able to successfully figure out what dashboards exist. Now obviously that'd be easier just to do it by clicking around, but I just wanted to show you a basic example of how this AI Dev Kit gives access to different tools in order to be able to learn things about our Databricks workspace. But there's much more interesting things that can be done. For example, we can have it create a dashboard for us. So I'm going to say create a dashboard from the table workspace default player stats. And what this is a table with fake data about basketball players. So I'll hit go. Let's watch and see what it does. You can turn off the approvals that it's asking for and just let it do its thing. Obviously, do that at your own risk, but I will just keep clicking through the different commands that it is asking me to approve. So it's also interesting to see it tries different strategies. You can see it making multiple attempts sometimes and then switching to a different strategy, just experimenting with the tools, the resources that are available. Looks like it's looking for a SQL warehouse that it can use for the AIBI dashboard that we're creating. Looks like it's creating a JSON file that could find the dashboard itself. So we can see it's designing the dashboard, deciding how it wants to display all the information. It's running some REST API commands. It looks like I need to allow it to run a bunch of SQL. If you don't want to watch me go through all this, feel free to fast forward it to the end result, but I think it's going to be done here pretty soon. We're publishing our dashboard now. I gave it a pretty vague prompt too, so keep in mind the prompt, the better this agent is going to be able to perform the actions that you want. I'm going to pause it while it runs through the rest of these, but I'll come back to it once it's finished. It looks like it finished up. It just took a few more minutes of running different commands. I saw it get stuck in one place and have to switch tactics and go a different direction. So now it's telling us what it did. It created a new dashboard named Player Stats. Tells us the dashboard ID, some information about the dashboard. Let's go look at it in Workspace. I'm doing this demo live, so I actually haven't seen what this looks like yet. But if you go to dashboards, there it is. So it looks like it was able to create it. And there you go. We have a dashboard based on the table that we gave it. We didn't really give it much instruction, so it just kind of created a dashboard how it wanted to. But you can see we have a working dashboard here with the statistics for player stats. So pretty cool. Yeah, just going back here, we could have run the same thing here in our chat within the cursor development coding environment, but I chose to do it through that agent mode here. And again, you can do this in any AI coding assistant like Codex or Copilot or Cloud Code, whatever it may be. I wish I could show you more examples, but that takes time. And just know that just like how we built the dashboard, we can build jobs, DLT pipelines, we can change configuration of compute or add tags to tables or jobs, whatever it may be. We can do it through the AI Dev Kit through our coding assistant. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was interesting. If it was, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.